Hello students and welcome to our today's tutorial on the kinematics of motion in O-level physics syllabus. It's very important to understand the basic differences between the scalar quantity and that of the vector quantity. Today we are going to breaking down 5 important and essential terms like distance, displacement, speed, velocity and acceleration. We look at the definition and the normal and common mathematical formula you need to use, and the common mistakes and traps you must avoid in your examination. Grab your notebooks and let's dive in. First of all, we will define the distance. What is distance? Distance is the total path length traveled by an object, and displacement is the direct distance from the initial point to the end point. Consider that an object is traveling through a rectangular pathway. Better, it is traveling to a square shaped pathway. Consider that the pathway is A to B, B to C, and C to D, like this: A to B, B to C, and C to D. An object is traveling from A to B, and this length is say for 3 meter, and B to C it will be 3 meter because it is an square shaped pathway, and C to D it will be 3 meter, and as usual D to A it will be 3 meter. Okay, when the object is traveling from A to B, its distance will be 3 meter. Okay, as the length of A to B is 3 meter, that's why distance will be 3 meter. So the pathway for A to B distance is equal to 3 meter, right? Okay. And what will be displacement? We said that displacement is the direct distance from the starting to the end point. Here starting point is A, and end point is B. Starting point is A and end point is B. So direct distance, it will be definitely 3 meter. Okay. For A to B pathway, the displacement will be also 3 meter. A to B, it will be 3 meter. Okay. When this object is traveling from B to C, then for the pathway A to B and B to C, the total length the object traveled is 3 plus 3 equal to 6 meter. It is the distance, the total path length. But displacement, what is displacement? Displacement is the direct distance from initial to end point. Here initial point is A and the end point is C. C is the end point. So what will be the displacement? Displacement will be the hypotenuse of this right angle triangle ABC, right? Then this distance will be root over 3 square plus 3 square equal, let me calculate, root over 3 square plus 3 square equal to 4.242 meter. So for the path length, pathway of A to B and B to C, the displacement will 4.12 meter. Again, it is traveling from C to D. So the pathway will A to B, B to C, and C to D, and its length will be 3 meter plus 3 meter plus 3 meter equal to 9 meter. But the displacement, it will be the direct distance from A to D. A to D, it is the displacement. So for the pathway of A to B, B to C, and C to D, displacement will be 3 meter. Okay. Again, if it traveled from D to A, then the total path length it traveled will be A to B, B to C, C to D, and D to A equal 3 meter plus 3 meter plus 3 meter and plus 3 meter equal 12 meter. It is the distance. but displacement, it will be 0. A to B, B to C, C to D, and D to A equal to 0. Because we started from A and into A. So the differences from A to A, ultimately it will be 0. So displacement here is 0. We are looking here that displacement is directional independent. It doesn't depend on the direction. So it is an scalar quantity, and displacement, its value is definitely depends on the direction. That's why with directions this value is changing. So displacement is a vector quantity. It depends on both on the value and the direction. This is the key differences between distance and displacement.